It is finally here. Anthony Joshua is taking on Francis the Predator Ngannou. To me, the current lineal combat sports champion, not only boxing, but mixed martial arts. He never lost his UFC championship. And we know how that story ended, and that chapter ended in the UFC. But since then, he came back in the world of boxing in October. He knocked down Tyson Fury, the WBC champion, who's fighting for undisputed gold against Alexander Usyk in May 18th. But this fight is for the number one contendership. It's AJ Anthony Joshua, a contender for the last a lot of years in the heavyweight division in boxing, versus a newcomer in Francis Ngannou, one of the best combat sports athletes of all time. And when I say lineal heavyweight combat sports champion, that is meaning that he isn't just the MMA champion, but by beating, to me, Tyson Fury, which I think he did. There's a lot of people think he won that fight. He knocked him down. He lost the close split decision, but I think he won that fight. He didn't get the decision, but that makes him the lineal champion. But getting to this fight a little bit, it's really fascinating because it's two of the heaviest punchers in heavyweight boxing throughout the last decade. It's just as simple as that. It's labeled knockout chaos, and that's what this one is, because I think there is going to be a knockout. You have Francis Ngannou, who's listed as 6'4", and then Joshua, who's listed as 6'6". I don't know. I think it seems like Joshua has a little bit, but I think they're really close. And when they get in the ring on Friday night, I think it will look closer in reach. But on the weight, Ngannou has the advantage there. He weighed in at 272 on Thursday, and Joshua weighed in at 252, so a big 20-pound weight difference. But Joshua has fought. He hasn't fought a guy this big. He has fought some big guys, but I think this will be his toughest test. But Joshua has really been on a roll as of late. He's really had a resurgence after losing back-to-back fights to Usyk just 2 years ago. He had 3 wins in 2023. Latest was Alo Valin, which he beat back in December, just a couple months ago. And that was a really impressive performance for Anthony Joshua. He couldn't get the knockout, but he looked impressive while doing it. And he looks to try to get back to his championship status where he was many years ago. And this is his 31st pro fight. And it's really just kind of weird when we sit here because Francis is in his second pro boxing match, but we know he has 20 plus MMA matches and contests in his history. But I think this, like I said, I think it, as the title reads, knockout cast, I do think there will be a knockout. This is a 10-round heavyweight main event. I'm going to go with my prediction right here. I think Francis Ngannou is going to get the job done. I believed in Francis for a long time when nobody did last time. He was, I believe, a plus 1,000 favorite or underdog against Tyson Fury. Now I've seen him as low as plus 280. The odds keep going and moving in Ngannou's favor as we get closer to this fight. But I just think Ngannou is going to overpower him, is just going to, in the end, be too much because I think his power is just on a different level than not just Anthony Joshua, but anyone Anthony Joshua has ever faced. We saw just how his power translates to boxing back in October against Tyson Fury, where he dropped him with a left hook, and it wasn't even an overhand right, which is, as we know, Ngannou's signature. So I think that this one is going to play out in Francis's favor. I think he's going to get his first pro boxing win. To me, his second, because I thought he won the Tyson one, as I mentioned. But in reality, I think that when he wins this fight, he's going to get all of the recognition that he deserves, all of the praise that he's long deserved, and he then would be the number one contender, like I said, to whoever is crowned undisputed heavyweight champion of the world May 18th between Tyson Fury and Usyk. That's going to be a great one. But I think this matchup between Joshua and Ngannou is just unlike anything we've ever seen. It's two of the best athletes in combat sports history, and it's really just two giants that are going to lay it all out there. I've been waiting ever since they announced this. I think this is a great fight for boxing, and it just shows how, with Francis, the level that he has got to in such a short amount of time in this sport and what he's done to his career. We don't have to rehash it all, but when everyone said he fumbled the bag by turning down a multi-million-dollar deal in the UFC to going to boxing, and now he's proved that he didn't just get one big payday, he's getting two big paydays, and both of those paydays are more than any payday that he's got in the UFC. And beyond the money part, he's really just establishing himself as one of the best combat sports athletes of all time, because there's no one that has transcended and has gone from one of the combat sports to the other, from MMA to boxing, from boxing to MMA, like Francis Ngannou. Conor, as we know, had a little success against Floyd years ago, but not this type of level, not fighting for a number one contendership for the heavyweight champion. And that's why Francis Ngannou is the baddest man on the planet. And I truly think he's going to show and continue to prove why that is the case come Friday night.